This episode is brought to you by Bigfoot Finance. Bigfoot is the next generation multi-chain NFT marketplace that rewards all users, not just high volume whales like on OpenSea. Phase 1 is the release of their yield generating NFT network with tiered pricing. Every 100 NFTs sold will increase the price by $100 with the daily payouts available. This is a no high yield promising network with reasonable and fair ROI. Visit bigfoot.finance for more information, link in the description below.
This my two Satoshis, who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis, yeah.
Hello everybody, I'm Amina Motala and this is my 2 Satoshis on the Crypto Blood Show. Welcome, so much fun to be here and be back. I've been traveling a little bit as, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a digital nomad and I've been traveling up from Florida. I was down there for a few months. I'm here back in Canada, Ottawa, Canada, my hometown. And so I've been just settling in. It's been a couple weeks. We had a major storm, took out about 200 hydro poles. And so a lot of us have been without power for 3 or 4 days, and there's still people and businesses without power. So we are trying to make this work. And I'm here in a good friend's home who is a member of Parliament, hence the Canadian flag. Lots going on up here in Canada. You can't even believe all the stuff that goes on up here, but we are way up here up north, and there's always a lot of interesting things to say for this town. This is the capital city of Canada. So anyway, let's just carry on. I don't want to get into politics, but I am Amina. I was referred to as a chick from Bermuda. I saw one of the comments. Actually, I did my last, my Satoshis from Puerto Rico, which I have to say is a beautiful place. I recommend, if you can get there, go check it out. It's a beautiful island. Lots of different terrain. There's rainforest, coastal towns that are spectacular, and little islands off of Puerto Rico as well. So people are wonderful. Old San Juan is spectacular, a little magical place. That's where I filmed it from, the last show. And guys, it's really beautiful. So let's carry on for this show today. I wanted to talk to you about a good friend of mine, Chris Rice. You've seen him here with Crypto Blood on the show, RiceTVx. So he recently did an interview with Janice McAfee, which is the wife of the late John McAfee. He is the pioneer for cybersecurity, or he was, the pioneer for cybersecurity in the tech world. And for anyone who does not know who John McAfee is, he created the McAfee antivirus. That might ring a bell to some of you. So he was a big freedom lover, I like to say, freedom fighter, freedom lover in the world and in the crypto space, especially, where he tried to share what he knew to the world daily, all day long, from what I learned from John, through social media in the past few years. And I had the privilege and honor to interview him as well a couple of times, and I gave Janice McAfee her very first interview ever. I did ask John if, how about bringing your wife on the show? I would love to interview her. Instead of asking him, I asked if I could interview his wife, and he said to me, "That's brilliant." So we actually did it. And to be honest, the first take of the interview did not get recorded. We had some technical difficulties because they were doing it from their yacht in Exuma. And we just had some troubles. So we had to find other platforms to do it on. And he sent me from his end, and I was very new at doing all of this, so we all didn't understand what just happened, and we didn't have it recorded. So I did have a backup recording on my cell phone behind me and recorded the whole interview, which was spectacular. The 3 of us loved it. I remember John saying to me, "Well, that is something we will have to share amongst the 3 of us." But I do have a copy of it, and I would love to share it with all of you one day. So go check out my interviews with the McAfees on my channel, Amina M on YouTube. You can find those. Just scroll back into my library of videos and you will see the interviews right there. We did get one recorded, so that first interview is there. So check it out. But going back to Chris Rice's interview on RiceTVx, he did do an interview with Janice the other day, and it's the very first one she has gone public since the death of John McAfee. And very sad what's been going on up there. She is in Spain. This is where John was in prison in his last days of his lifetime. They had captured him there, and I believe they were capturing him on tax evasion, I guess, accusations. I mean, I don't really want to get into all the details of all of that, but that's where they captured him, and he had remained for the rest of his life. So, which was about, I think, maybe a little bit of over a year in prison. I could be wrong on some of these details, but it was roughly around that estimate of time. So Janice did an interview and she spoke for the first time. They have held his body. She has seen it, but they still have his body. And sadly, you can't do an autopsy. There's no death certificate and so on. So there's some funky business going on in Spain around the death of John McAfee, how he died. They claimed it was suicide. He claimed he was never suicidal. And there's so many things around that. But if you listen to the interview, you'll hear more details about it. And Janice is speaking and looking for help.
So he had died from suicide. And that is also how his attorney found out. None of us here found out from the prison itself. We found out, online first.
Wow, that's kind of rough to get news like that without them contacting you.
Yeah.
Now, it's been reported that John committed suicide by hanging, yet there's no official autopsy, no cause of death released or death certificate. And it's widely known that John said on social media that he was not suicidal and he would not kill himself. He insinuated that what happened to Epstein could happen to him. He got the whacked tattoo. And in your opinion, how can anyone say that John died, how John died, or that he committed suicide based off of not having an official autopsy or death certificate being released?
I think it's...
So she has a petition to sign, and she'd love for signatures to help do a proper burial and a proper investigation. What happened to him and his death. So I encourage you to check it out. Go see it on RiceTVx on his show. I'll have the link for the interview, and you can judge for yourself. The link for the petition will also be under this video. And I encourage you, if you align with what you are hearing and her side of the story, you would consider signing the petition, because there is no rhyme or reason for this sort of, funky business, let's call it. So please do ahead and do that and take a look. I really, like I said, I encourage you. They were freedom fighters. They fought dearly for the world and the public and the people to help see and open their eyes to what they could see and what they knew and what they saw. And, there's controversy of, they tried to discredit his name and tried to pin him down on so many things. But that's what happens when you see the truth and you share the truth. And knowing that he was the cybersecurity, a pioneer in this, I'm sure he had insight to many things. So consider all of these things, people. This world is not what we think we see and hear. So I always say, use a critical mind, ask questions, always look in many different perspectives, never judge people by what they look like, especially what media likes to portray. So, but always listen, always hear it. And, hopefully you are able to put the pieces together a little bit better than that. So, definitely this is my 2 satoshis on all of this. And I'm very much an advocate for critical thinking and asking questions. Ask those questions. I think that's about it for today. I really appreciate you listening, and thanks everybody. That's my 2 Satoshis. Take care.